This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. Episode 612. I'm Catherine Inskip, your editor and host. As it's Halloween week, we're doing something a little different. We're taking curtains out trick-or-treating. I think we need something a little more fantastic next. So let's head up to the castle and see what kind of treats Podcastle has in store for us.
Podcastle, episode 863 for Tuesday the 29th of October 2024. Rated PG. Good morning, good day, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to Podcastle, the flying castle of fantasy fiction. I'm your host, Matt Dovey, and it is my pleasure to present for your... Hang on. Do you hear that? Oh, for the old God's sakes. Sorry, one moment. Your interruption shall reap the dragon's... Oh, hello, curtains. What's up?
Trick or treat.
Right, well, fool me once and all that, not making last year's mistake again, so I think it better be treat, hadn't it? Oh, You've got a treat for us? Well, let's have a look. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. No, this is lovely. Are we still on for pumpkin carving tonight, yeah? Awesome. We've got a great idea this year. We are definitely winning. So long as Tentacles doesn't cheat with the non-Euclidean dimensions again. See you later. Right, sorry about that. So, change of plan. Cast of Wonders dropped by and dropped a story in our lap, and, well, it's my pleasure to present for your enjoyment The Illusionist Tent by H.K. Payne, narrated and produced by Eric Valdez. This story is a Cast of Wonders original. H.K. Payne gets writing inspiration from all sorts of sources, including, but not limited to, random song lyrics, magazine photographs, seemingly benign interactions at the grocery store, and her frequent bizarre and vivid dreams. She has a stack of novels in various stages of editing, an ever-growing list of new ideas vying for her attention, and a tendency to overthink which projects she should be working on. This is her first professional sale. Eric Valdez is a sound mixer, performer, and creative human like you. He has spent the past 2 decades specialising in audio for visual media and was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Sound Mixing for his recording work. Eric adores theatrical improvisation, but has also lent his face and voice to films, commercials, songs and plays that may actually have been written beforehand. Eric journeys through life with his author wife Valerie Valdez, their 2 frighteningly high-energy offspring, and their 2 thankfully low-energy cats. Catch him making up silly songs on Saturdays on twitch.tv/thekidsareasleep, or stare in wonder while he anxiously avoids posting on Twitter and Instagram at Intensely Eric. And now pay attention, for our tale is about to begin. And how did you get in here anyway?
The Illusionist's Tent by H.K. Payne. I was told we had the night off, but I guess no one told you kids that. Tell me, whose idea was it to come trick-or-treating through our camp? I suppose it was yours, since you're the only one here. You do realize we're a bunch of broke circus performers, don't you? Well, since you're here, we might as well get this over with. Which do you want? The trick or the treat? Treat? All right. Let's see. What have I got? Here you go. A handbill. folded into the shape of a bird. What do you mean it doesn't look like a bird? It's a swan, obviously. You have some nerve showing up outside a man's tent on his night off demanding a treat and then insulting his paper folding abilities? Yes, I know it's not a very good paper swan, but what do you expect? This isn't my area of expertise. You're the one who came to an illusionist asking for a treat. Oh, you want the trick instead now. Here. Poof. The swan vanishes. Well, of course you've seen that trick before. Any illusionist worth their salt can make a badly folded paper swan disappear. Did you think I was going to give you a big finale act? You've got to buy a ticket for that. Well, I'm feeling generous, so I'll humor you with another trick. Check your pockets. Hey now, calm down. It's not like you had much money in there. And here it is. Have it back. That's another treat. What are you scowling for? If you wanted candy, you should have gone to a normal neighborhood like all the other kids. Why didn't you go with all your friends? Oh. I guess that's a sensitive subject for you. Kids, huh? I get it. Sorry I brought it up. Now, hang on, don't go just yet. I've got another trick for you. Relax. I'm not going to take your money. What's the fun in doing the same trick twice? There. Look at that. The whole night sky inside one tiny tent. A trick and a treat, all in one. Yeah, you can come in if you want. Just leave that open. I get claustrophobic. It's nice, isn't it? The stars, not the tent. The tent is a wreck. But the stars, you could almost touch them. Of course I can't tell you how I did it, because illusionists don't spill their secrets and all that. Actually, it's more that I wouldn't even know how to begin to describe it. It's just something I can do. Do you want to see another trick? I'm getting warmed up now. Here, watch my hand. Are you watching carefully? All right, there. It's gone. Presto. Nope, it's not down my sleeve. Take a look. And no, it wasn't just a prosthetic all along. I do have two hands. See? It's back. Oh, and now it's gone again. I hate when that happens. Could I make more of myself disappear? Someone else asked me that once. He asked me if I could make my whole self disappear. I didn't want to try it, but he made me a pretty tempting offer. No, not money. A ham and cheddar sandwich. What? You try going for 2 days without food and then see how silly you think it is to get all excited about a sandwich. I was hungry, all right? I don't usually do tricks for scraps like a dog, but sometimes it's necessary. I didn't go through with it anyway. I couldn't bring myself to try. Turning even part of myself invisible gives me the jeebies. I don't think I could handle disappearing all of me. Not even for a ham and cheddar sandwich. If it had been ham and Swiss, maybe I would have done it. Oh, look at that. My hand is back. Why hadn't I eaten in 2 days? I was between jobs. It was after I left the last show I was a part of, before I joined this one. No, I'd rather not talk about the last show. Here, I've got another trick for you. Voila! The plastic alligator toy you lost when you were 6. How do I know about that? No idea. But this is yours, isn't it? See, it's got that nick in the tail. No, I already told you I can't explain how I do it. I wouldn't even know how to begin. You're right. I am different from the other illusionists in the troupe. Most people never figure that out. Even the other illusionists all still think I'm just like them, doing tricks with fancy clockwork and sleight of hand. Maybe they think that because I made them think that. I'm not sure. Once they figure it out, if they figure it out, I guess I'll have to leave again. Like I left the last show. Oh, you want to know if the last show kicked me out? You mean like they realized I was a fake illusionist and they kicked me out of the show for it? No. No, they didn't. You want to know? The truth is, they found out and got all excited. They booked new shows, trotting me out as the finale every night. Nobody asked me what I wanted. Pretty soon, I wasn't a person anymore. I was a gold mine. I was their gold mine. And if I didn't perform to their satisfaction, well, there were consequences. When I wasn't performing, they kept me locked up in the cellars under the theater, if you can believe it. They said it was for my protection, which I guess was true in its own way. They didn't want anyone to steal me, including myself. No one ever came looking for me. I still have nightmares about those cellars. I've never told anyone that before. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. How did I escape? Eventually, I figured out how to walk through the wall, which was just about the most terrifying thing I ever did. Sometimes I still get this sudden, awful feeling like there's a brick embedded in my chest. It really scares me sometimes. I have no idea when it's safe to try something. Someone like you can look at the people who've come before and make a judgment about what you can survive, but me? Nobody taught me this stuff. It just started happening, and I'm still trying to figure it out. When I was a kid, I once went a whole day without being able to drink water. Every glass of water I touched just evaporated, glass and all, for no reason. And at night, I used to scare myself making the shadows on the walls move. I didn't realize I was doing it, of course. I always thought it was some kind of monster, and I would hide under my blankets, waiting for it to come get me. Look at me. I'm shaking. I really don't usually talk about this stuff. No, I never talk about this stuff. I don't know why I'm telling you any of this. What? That's my name. How do you know my name? Why did you come here tonight? Of all the places you could go trick-or-treating, of all the tents you could have gone to, why did you come here? Why did you choose the smallest, shabbiest tent? The tent of some second-rate sideshow performer? Anyone else would have scrounged up some taffy or a lollipop and sent you on your way. But you came here. You came here and suddenly I'm telling you things I have never told anyone. Did you make me say all that? I don't mean on purpose, but in a way you can't explain. Because you wanted to know, didn't you? You wanted to know if I was... Because... Gosh, look at me. I'm crying now. Sorry, I just... I always thought I was the only one. You did too, didn't you? Here, you can shove that stuff out of the way. Please, sit down. Make yourself at home, kid. Let's start with your name. You can start by telling me your name.
And welcome back. That was The Illusionist's Tent by H.K. Payne, and if you enjoyed that like I did, then I'm afraid that was, as mentioned, her first professional sale. And congratulations on that count. But despite my best efforts, I can't scale up anywhere to follow her online. HK, if you're listening, let the Cast of Wonders folk know where your website or social media are, then people can follow you from your bio page on their site.
Thank you, Podcastle. That story was a really nice counterpoint to the story we heard over at Pseudopod Towers yesterday. Instead of false friends pushing a kid into a bad situation, we've got two lonely individuals finding a connection on Halloween night. The single-sided conversation is a great device to develop intimacy with the audience, but it also fits really well with the nature of the illusionist magic of making things happen. This is the kind of story that, to me, feels like it's just touching on the edge of something really important. How growing up is all about gaining the power to affect the world around us, and how terrifying that is when we still feel powerless and unseen. It's a sort of story which could have taken a really sinister turn, but instead focuses on showing the power of mutual understanding and empathy. This one was definitely a treat.
Thanks, Kath, and the Cast of Wonders team as a whole, and I'm relieved to hear it's not just us getting gatecrashed. I guess I should warn Kitty and Lasers. Then again, more fun not to. Better just listening to them this week too and see what occurs, eh? I'm with you on how wonderful the story was too, and how well the conceit of the one-sided conversation worked for bringing the audience close. What really made this old dragon's heart swell though, was that moment of recognition, when the illusionist saw someone like himself, and instantly and instinctively, his priority was to help them above all else. Being neurodivergent in this world is a tough old thing, but one of the delights of it is getting to live this moment over and over, of instinctively recognising someone else as like you, and gently broaching the topic by discussing your own struggles, and you can see the moment of hesitation where they want to bring it up and ask about it, and then is the magic part, where you can tell them that they're not broken, that it was never their fault, that they are not alone nor uniquely flawed, but have just been forced by so many people for so many years to fit into a shape that doesn't suit them, that they've ended up forcing themselves to. And you can help lift that weight off their shoulders, and though, like the illusionist, you may not know how you do it yourself, you know you can still help just by showing them they're not alone. And really, it is amazing how much that does help. It takes courage, sometimes, to hang your own identity out in public so that people might approach you for the conversation. But my goodness, does that vulnerability ever get repaid with the good you can do for others? I thoroughly recommend it, whenever you can.
The Podcastle Dragon has helpfully offered to toast our marshmallows, so we're going to stick around and share with them for a while. Join us again tomorrow for another trick-or-treating expedition. We love bringing you the best audio fiction week after week, but we can't do it without your support. Your donations pay our authors, our narrators, our servers and our staff. please consider supporting us with a monthly donation through either PayPal or Patreon. You can also review us on Apple Podcasts, request us on Spotify, and consider the stories we publish for award consideration. There are lots of ways you can help. Join the discussion on the EA Discord and visit on social media at Cast of Wonders. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is brought to you by editor Catherine Inskip, assistant editor Alicia Caparaso, associate editors Rebecca Arn, Tanya Adelit, Amy Brennan, Somtoa Haysway, Cup Jacob, Becca Miles, Ray O, Samuel Poots, Pooja Prakabaran, Emma Smales, Denise Sudal, and Rin Yi. Our editorial assistant is Amy Brennan, our community manager is Denise Sudal, and our audio producer is Jeremy Carter. Cast of Wonders is part of the Escape Artists Foundation, a 501c3 non-profit, and this episode is distributed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International License. That means you can download or listen to the episode on any device you like, but you can't change it or sell it. Our theme music is Appeal to Heavens by Alexei Nov, available from Promo DJ or his Facebook page. Thank you for listening.